Hello and welcome to the Old School Vegan Vegetarian Show. I'm your host, Drew Andrew. Thanks for tuning in today. Here we are looking to dive deep into vegan and vegetarianism, lifestyle, diets, journeys, discoveries, stories, epiphanies, wonders, nutrition, and whatever else fun we might find along the way. What this is not is an animal rights activist platform designed to exclude our meat-eating friends. No judgments, no soapbox, just information and intelligent conversation with interesting people from all walks of life. Hey, hello. Welcome. It's Drew from the Old School Vegan Show. And today we're going to adventure out a bit and, maybe get some food, take a peek at some, items that are good for us to consume, and talk a little bit about organic and natural versus conventional foods, stuff like that. So it's really chilly here. At the moment it is, well, it's 22 degrees today, but it's been in the negatives for the past few days here in Vermont. So I'm going to go out for a quick hike and then we'll get to business. All right, so we're pulling into Hannaford's now, and it's, a typical grocery store. They get their products from big vendors that store their vegetables in warehouses. So oftentimes when you go to stores like this, the products are hit or miss as far as, how fresh they are. But things like power greens and spinach and salad mixes, they all kind of come from the same place. The co-op has the same power greens and they're $2 more. So I'm going to pick up my power greens here, and I think it's a pretty good value. The next thing on the list is going to be avocados. And on occasion, I buy avocados conventionally. I generally buy everything organic, but avocados have a thick skin and I don't think they absorb a ton of chemicals, so I am a little lenient on that. I'm going to pick up some kimchi here. You want to make sure your kimchi doesn't have any fish in it or bonito flakes, and generally there's a vegan symbol on it to let you know if the kimchi is vegan. I love kimchi and fermented foods. They're great for your health and your stomach, your gut health. Here's some organic avocados. I'm not going to pick them up today. Then I'm going to grab a summer squash because I kind of like that in some dishes that I prepare. Here's some sweet potatoes and potatoes. You always want to buy these organic. These are on the dirty list. They're buried deep below the earth, so they get a lot of chemicals in them if they're not organic. So they actually have a sale today on some Yukon Gold fingerlings, and I'm going to pick some of those up. I don't generally buy potatoes, but they're nice to have around sometimes. They're good in a air fryer. These guys have vegan cheesecake here, and I'm going to stay away from it. On very rare occasion, I'll allow myself to have a little treat like that, but I am staying away from sugars and trying to drop a little bit of weight. This isn't the best view, but what I'm picking up here is organic vegetable stock. This is a vegan vegetable stock, and I tend to go for the low sodium version of that if at all possible. I do make soups pretty often, and it being winter, it is definitely soup season. So Bragg's coconut amino acids are really good to have around. They're a nice little thing to put on your food. They give you, some minerals and things that we don't always get. The next thing here that we're coming up to is pasta. There's a lot of options, a lot of gluten-free options, a lot of different kinds of pasta. White pastas aren't really the best for you. I'm, again, going to avoid pasta today because I'm trying to drop a little weight, and I do like pasta though. Don't get me wrong. Baking flours and cooking things, things for treats and cookies and cornbread and that kind of stuff. I'm not going to buy any today. Organic nut butters, so peanut butter, cashew butter, all that stuff. Maple syrup is very, very, very
good. I put it in my coffee in the morning. You want to get real maple syrup. You don't want to get like Aunt Jemima's with high fructose corn syrup. That's just crap. And I'm particular about my maple syrup coming from Vermont, as I am a Vermonter. Here we got tea, and tea is one of my favorite things. There's coffee here too, but I only buy organic coffee. On the tea front, I tend to go with rooibos chai, rooibos, turmeric, ginger, or my very best favorite and something I drink pretty much all day is hibiscus tea. These have some qualities that are good for lowering your blood pressure, and they're just generally good for you. I don't really drink a lot of green tea because I stay away from caffeinated tea. I do my coffee in the morning, and that's all the caffeine I have for the day. We have next nuts, and then we have sparkling water. I particularly like San Pellegrino, or if I go to Trader Joe's, I get the no-name brand of that. It's just a nice treat. Chips and tortillas and potato chips and so forth. You want to go organic here. You want to go non-GMO if you're getting something corn-based, and I would definitely advocate organic as well on that. There's a lot of different things that they have available now that are vegan, and on occasion I'll buy something out of the ordinary. I don't drink alcohol anymore, and I'm not making any judgments. I just found as I got older, and the effects of the alcohol just are not pleasant for me any longer. And it is a neurotoxin, and they are discovering that it's not particularly good for you. Here's some meatless burgers. We have the Impossible Burger here. It's a little too meaty for me. It honestly has that weird iron taste, which is too much for me. I know a lot of people really love it. Here's some cookies and crackers, and there's some Simple Mills things in here. I really like their products. They only have about 5 or 6 ingredients in them. They're very, very, scaled down as far as how processed they are. They're still processed. But on occasion, I do like to have some crackers around. I like things that have a crunchy texture. There are some good frozen foods to have in case you are, running out. I sometimes keep organic string beans in the fridge and freezer. Here's some more meatless burgers and such. There's a lot of interesting choices. Gardein has like chicken patties, and they're particularly good. There's some Amy's in here. Amy's has a few things that are vegan and pretty tasty if you're, on a road trip or something where you can't really get something great. There's some non-dairy yogurts and some non-dairy ice creams here. Those can be really, tasty on occasion. Again, a lot of sugar, so you probably want to avoid it. Particularly with the yogurt, you want to make sure that you're buying a yogurt that has low sugar.
We did our big box kind of general store shopping just a little while ago, so now we're going to go ahead and go into the co-op. I'm here in my hometown, Brattleboro, Vermont, and I do like to go to local co-ops if at all possible and buy organic produce or things that come from locally sourced companies. The big box stores, they order from, major warehouses like Cisco and places like that. And, the quality is hit or miss, really. It's a lot of times you're not getting the best quality food, but you can get it substantially cheaper sometimes at those stores because they buy in volume, and obviously that gives you an opportunity to save some money. Shopping at the co-op is very expensive, but a lot of times the quality is going to be better. You're also supporting local farmers and businesses, so that's always nice. I used to be a produce manager in Nashville, Tennessee, and I would buy from several different produce companies. A couple of the big box places like Cisco, and then I used to buy blueberries from some Mennonite farm in Tennessee, and just some other local vendors. If there were possibilities of getting things that were locally sourced directly from my vendors, it was always nice to get the locally sourced stuff. It's fresher, there's less packaging, it's traveled fewer miles, so there's been less environmental stress. So, yeah, let's take a walk through the co-op and see how things go here.
All right, so we're at the Brattleboro Co-op, and I love this co-op. They have a lot of good stuff, but here we see the same greens that I bought at Hannaford's, and they're $2 more. So I'm glad that I got them at Hannaford's. Here's Watercrest. Watercrest is really good for you, and this is a local company, so I do like to pick these up whenever possible. There are some organic lemons here. I do tend to buy lemons. You don't want to buy garlic and potatoes that are not organic, as they are on the Dirty Dozen list. And I do tend to pick up my garlic here and also my sweet potatoes. I really enjoy sweet potatoes. They are pretty carby, so you don't want to have them all the time, but they're good for you, and there are benefits of, to having those. Broccolini on there, bok choy, love bok choy. Cabbage is really good. Cruciferous vegetables are particularly good for you. So whenever you can get some of those in your diet, those are good things to have. Some mushrooms. I'm going to pick up some portobello mushroom because they are about the same price as they are at the co-op, and they seem a lot fresher at the market here. Then we're going to take a peek at, onions, some organic onions. Going to grab a couple of those. I don't tend to buy bananas very often these days. They have a very high sugar content, and again, I'm trying to cut my sugar for the moment. So after the sweet potatoes and the onions, I'm going to grab a zucchini because I do like to have that in my air fried stir fries. And I like squashes. I really find summer squash and zucchinis to be a couple of my favorite things. After this, we're going to head over to the coffee aisle, and I'm going to pick up some organic coffee from the bulk section. I like dry beans, and I'm really particular about my coffee. Also needs to be organic. It's very expensive, but again, there are certain things that I will spend the money on because I'm worth it. So picking that up from the bulk section, and they do have some bulk teas here. I do tend to buy my rooibos tea here from the bulk section, and a few other spices when I need spices. I'm going to head over to the bulk section. There's always a lot of great things in the bulk section. Dried mangoes, I really like dried mangoes, but that's, there's a lot of sugar content in dried fruits. Going to pick up some nutritional yeast. That's what I'm grabbing right here. Nutritional yeast is great. It can really add a cheesy flavor to a lot of things, and also it has B12 in it, which we really need. So whenever you can put that in something that you're cooking, it's really advantageous for you to do so. I also take a B12 supplement, and I take a D3 supplement because that's really important as well. There are definitely some supplements that you need to be taking if you're a vegan, and those are the two primary ones. Coming to plant milks, I don't really advocate buying the plant milks. They have a lot of stuff in them, a lot of gar gum and that kind of stuff. Make your own plant milk. Honestly, it's much better for you, and it's simple. You just need to soak your nuts for a little bit and then blend them with some filtered water, and you're in good shape. I am going to pick up some Mayoko butter, cashew butter. I don't do this very often, but it is a really nice thing to have around. And if you, on occasion have some sourdough bread, which I tend to keep in the freezer on occasion, it is just fantastic. I mean, it tastes just like real butter. It's astounding, really, honestly. Gonna pick up some Forager vanilla bean yogurt, and this has 1 gram of sugar in it. Really, really tasty. I like it. Sometimes I'll take my organic blueberries and I'll throw it in there, and that'll be my morning breakfast. We got a bunch of things here. We have some organic potatoes, and I am gonna buy more potatoes, but these are going in the freezer. These are Yukon Gold organic French fries, and I do love them, but I tend not to ever eat them. We have some more meatless options coming around the corner here. The co-op carries a really nice locally sourced seitan that I love. They also have a locally sourced tofu that's in a big old brick of tofu, which for some reason seems to crisp up better than a lot of other tofus, and I really like that. So there's some great stuff here. I'm not going to buy a bunch today. There's a Korean pancake that they sell here that is really delicious. That's what I'm going to go for here. I'm not going to buy it today, but it is really good. Here's some more Amy stuff and a few other, pre-made things. Again, I don't really buy these unless I'm on the road and I don't have something else to eat. I have an electric lunchbox that I can plug in my car, and I can also plug in a hotel, so I can often, heat up something like that and have something that's not too terrible for me if there aren't a lot of options. Kite Hill pastas, refrigerated pastas, amazing. They have like tortellini that is got cashew in it, and they have some other, I think they have some mushroom ones. Really, really good, delicious. I don't buy those a lot. They're also very expensive. Going through the chip aisle, we're going to avoid that. Some more teas here. I'm going to pick up some more hibiscus because I can never seem to have enough. Again, I drink it all day, so I tend to go through the hibiscus a lot. They don't have the hibiscus in the bulk tea section here, so I actually am going to ask them to carry the hibiscus if they can get a hold of it, because I would prefer to start brewing it in a container that doesn't have the tea bags, because bleached tea bags and nylon tea bags are not particularly good for you. They're finding out more and more information on that kind of stuff as time goes on. But this is a good brand. There's no mold too. It's very low in mold content. Some baking stuff, flours and such. Here are some beans, and I find that pinto beans are the only ones that really don't turn my stomach, to be honest. Black beans are really, really hard on me. I did a food elimination diet, and I did discover certain things are really kind of tough for me to digest. Here's some more crackers. We already kind of did the cracker thing at the last store. Organic wines. The Co-op is a fantastic place to pick up wine if you drink it. Again, I stopped drinking last year, and I feel pretty wonderful. Looking at some sourdough bread here. I'm not going to buy it today, but sometimes I will have a loaf sitting in my freezer so that I can have a slice or two on occasion. They have a vegan carrot cake here that I'm not going to buy. It's super sugary, but it's a tasty treat on occasion. So I think that's going to wrap up my adventure here.
All right, so earlier when we started out before my hike, I said it was 22 degrees, but when I got on the road, it was actually 12 degrees. So it was pretty chilly. It's really warming up. It's 19 degrees now. So we've done our epic shopping for today. We did the big box shopping grocery store, and we did the Co-op. And I'm going to go ahead and leave my groceries in the car because 19 degrees is colder than your refrigerator, so I don't really have to worry that my frozen stuff, which I did today buy organic French fries because I was kind of excited about the fact that they were on sale. And they're Yukon Gold, which is my favorite potato. So we're going to go ahead and take an adventure and go into Yalla, Vermont, which is a Mediterranean vegetarian place. And I love this place. They're really fantastic people. They're warm and loving, and I really just appreciate them every time I go in there. It's a great experience. They usually have great music playing. So we're gonna do filming outside of that. When I get in there, I'm gonna ask them if I can film them. If they choose to say no, then I'm gonna be respectful of that and not. Wonderful. I love to come here at least once a week or maybe once every 2 weeks. Patronize your local establishments and the businesses that are doing good. They're only open a very short window of time, so they're open Thursday through Sunday from 11 to 3. So the window is pretty short, and when they're out of food, they're out of food. So if they happen to run out of food prior to those hours extinguishing, then you're out of luck. So, but let's go see what happens.
All right, so we're walking into Yalla. We're going to see what happens today. I have a feeling they're going to be gracious and allow me to film because they're just the nicest people. And, honestly, it's free advertisement for them. But it's a fantastic place. And if you're in Brattleboro, Vermont, or they do have other Yallas around. So if you see one, jump in. I don't know if it's as good as this one, but this one's great.
How's everybody today?
Very well.
We got dancing people. It's pretty exciting stuff. I want
Spicy?
Spicy's great. Spicy, spicy, spicy.
Spicy. Eggplant?
Eggplant's wonderful.
Cilantro, right?
Cilantro's wonderful. Everything's wonderful. My life is wonderful.
All right, so you see they did allow me to film, and they were happy and gracious as always. I love to see them.
All right, hi. It's been a great day today. I think we got a lot of fun stuff done today. We went to a big box supermarket, and we went to the local co-op here in town, which is Brattleboro Co-op in Vermont. And then we went for a fun lunch at Yalla Vermont, which is a Mediterranean restaurant. And again, they're only open very short window of time. They open between Thursday and Sunday from 11 to 3, so the window is pretty short. But because of that, they have very fresh food, and the ingredients are prepared with love. So that's something else I wanted to touch on today. Is in the Aravaic tradition of serving food, food is prepared and served with love, right? It's blessed and it's got good energy going into it, and that energy is coming into your body. And I think, that's something that we don't think about a lot, but when you prepare your food at home, I think you probably prepare it with some degree of love and care for yourself, right? But when you go out and have something to eat, a lot of times the food is just kind of prepared by a random somebody who might not have great energy. And, I kind of think we're feeding from that energy a little bit. So I have a funny saying I say about places like the Golden Arches or the King of Burgers. And, you can go there and get some cheap food, what I like to call your hate burger. You can go get your hate burger there, but I'd rather go someplace that serves the food with love and care and kindness, and also support a local place and, sustain the economy within your community. So that's pretty lovely as well. So I think for today, we're going to call that a day. As always, so grateful that you came and joined me for this little adventure that we had. If you like this video or my previous video, hit like and subscribe, tell a friend, pay it forward. Let's grow this channel, and I'd love to start getting some good guests on here and start, having some nice interviews and some interactions with some other people that have, things to share and really nice experiences and stories. And, we can learn about their journey and what it is that kind of makes them tick. And I want to hear from you as well. I want to hear what you want to see on this channel and what you would like to hear about. I can do some research on various subjects, and we can come back and meet here and, and go over it all. So, come along the journey with me. I'm welcoming friends. Really appreciate that. And have a great day. Have a blessed day. Love, kindness. Be great.
That's going to wrap it up for today. I hope you enjoyed this show. Please help us out by telling a friend or two. Play it forward. We hope to see and speak with you again soon. This is Drew signing off.